District Attorney formally filed 2 murder charges against a 15-year-old boy for the death of Kiaya Campbell. The 10-year-old girl was reported missing last Wednesday in Thornton. Her body was found in an open space area the next day. 9 News reporter Nelson Garcia was in court today. And Nelson, we can now confirm the identity of the accused killer.
Kim, charges today were filed against 15-year-old Aiden Zelmer. He's still being charged as a juvenile, but 9 News has decided to release his name because it was stated in open court today, and the Adams County District Attorney is working to get him charged as an adult. Friends and family of 10-year-old Kiaya Campbell entered the courtroom this afternoon. Just before the hearing, a man believed to be Zelmer's father approached the media talking about God and the Bible. After a 10-minute discussion, the hearing was then closed to everyone except family members of the accused and the victim. But while inside, District Attorney Dave Young filed 2 murder charges against Aiden Zelmer for the death of Kiaya.
Formally filed 2 counts of first-degree murder. The first count is intent and after deliberation murder. The second count is what's called murder of a child under the age of 12 for a person in position of trust. Both those are Class 1 felonies.
The next court date is set for June 30th at 1:30 p.m. At that time, the judge will address hearings for a bond, a preliminary hearing, and also a transfer hearing, and that will determine whether Aiden Zelmer will be charged as an adult. Kim, Kiaya's family and friends did not want to say anything to the media.
It's iconic, so photos are expected. But this photo at Hanging Lake has one company asking for Colorado's forgiveness.
I am so sorry. It was a very bad mistake.
Renata Faccini owns Liquido, a fitness and swimwear company found in the U.S., Brazil, and Australia, and was with this group Tuesday, including a photographer from Colorado.
To be really, really honest, I didn't read any signs.
The multiple signs that say don't get in the water to help preserve the ecosystem.
When we got there, there was people there, and there was a guy swimming. So I didn't even cross my mind, and I'm so sorry for that.
They took photos doing yoga on the log with the photographer in the water and then posted it on social media. The company apologized online, saying, "We have learned a hard, painful lesson to research our photo shoot destination spots." But a lot of people on Facebook think this photo is a deliberate disregard for nature.
There's nothing in my company or in me or in the people that I work that will want to harm and destroy the planet.
Actually, I'm really glad to see that they issued an apology.
The U.S. Forest Service welcomes the apology, but it doesn't change the fact people in the water can damage the limestone deposit that gives the lake that clear blue color.
When people get in it, they can actually kick and damage the travertine. And this travertine takes a long time to form.
A growing problem as the number of visitors jumped from 90,000 in 2014 to 137,000 last summer.
I get the anger, and that's it. I cannot go against it. I'm just going to have to take it. Pretty much I deserve it.
Now, while Liquido says that they were out taking photos with friends, the U.S. Forest Service is still looking into the circumstances. That includes them not having a commercial filming permit, which could play a role in if this company is cited or not. That photo, Victoria, has since been removed from their social media accounts.
Now, Anusha, they say that they're sorry, and it sounds like they actually tried to donate some money to an organization.
Yeah, they are donating some money to 2 conservation groups for volunteers to help preserve the parks. But Victoria, the U.S. Forest Service says that is welcome, but at the end of the day, they are the group that actually manages this lake and are actually connecting with the company to see if they can sort out some kind of education arrangement to try and remedy what happened.
All right, just got to read the signs. Thanks for that, Anusha.
Congressman Scalise brought his own security detail to the baseball practice today, which is protocol for someone in his position. The Capitol police officers confronted the suspect and eventually shot him. Had they not, witnesses say the shooting could have been far worse. 9 News reporter Jessica O learned that many politicians go to events without an added layer of security. Right, Jessica?
Right, that's right, Kim. It presents a risk, but our experts say there simply are not enough resources to make sure every politician does have security. This shootout may have happened where the Republicans were meeting to practice today, but it did shock both sides of the aisle. 2 lawmakers from Colorado were at practice for the Democrats team just 1 mile away when that suspect opened fire.
I ride my bike to practice every morning. It's just something that none of us could even imagine.
This is just a horrible tragedy, frankly, for goodness sakes, at a morning baseball practice for a charity game.
Representative Steve Scalise, a Republican from Louisiana and the House Majority Whip, was one of 5 people shot by a man who walked up and asked if this group was Republican or Democrat.
There's a lot of things we don't know about. What we do know is that there was a recent Facebook post that was very much anti-Republican or anti-President Trump.
The potential for violence stemming from political beliefs is something that concerns lawmakers like Representative Mike Kaufman.
I'm doing an in-person town hall in August. Am I creating a soft target? Is law enforcement addressing the issue? Am I being too casual about it?
Most politicians like Kaufman don't walk around with security guards even during public events. As a leadership member, Scalise was the only one with a security detail at practice today.
Had Steve Scalise, missed practice that day and not been there, there would have been no security detail there. And so there is no question the carnage would have been enormous.
A shooting that experts say could be a sign of a country increasingly and dangerously frustrated with politics.
There's a general feeling right now that we have so raised the rhetoric that it may be triggering some things that wouldn't happen ordinarily.
And all of the representatives and officials that we spoke with today say this is just the start of that conversation. And Kaufman, by the way, says he's going to now work with local law enforcement officials to make sure there is coverage during events in the future, like his town hall that is scheduled for August.
Yeah, it's scary for everyone, and yet they want to meet with their constituents and voters and get their message out.
That is the other side of this. They want to meet with people, but there is that risk. So they're just thinking if they work with law enforcement officials, they have to find the balance between the two.
Yeah. That would be a good thing. All right, thank you, Jessica.
Most members of Congress do not travel with security. Capitol Police were present today. They were able to take down the shooter today only because there was a high-ranking congressional leader there who had a security detail. It raises the question of how the contentious town hall meetings with members of Congress in Colorado are handled.
If you're not concerned about your own safety, you have to be concerned about the safety of others, the people around you.
Republican Congressman Mike Kaufman is having the safest kind of town hall meeting tonight, a telephone town hall from D.C. In August, he'll have his next in-person town hall, and he will do it without a security detail, because he doesn't have one.
We're encouraged to work with local law enforcement, share our schedules with them.
We checked with Aurora Police, which doesn't require high-profile politicians to notify them if they're drawing a crowd, but they appreciate the heads up.
We're at large events like that and events with delegates because we're concerned about everybody's safety. So it's not just to keep one person safe, it's to keep everybody at the event safe.
Democratic Senator Michael Bennet recently held 3 town halls, including one in Boulder. Boulder PD told us they get notified if congressional staffers think that the event could get heated. But they told us, we do not act as security simply because someone doesn't have their own security.
When there's an event that becomes public, where I'm inviting the public, am I creating a soft target? Is law enforcement addressing the issue? Am I being too casual about it? It's not thinking about my safety, it's thinking about the safety of those around me.
Close, right? Good job.
As Gypsy Thomas walks her dog.
She is a red heeler Kelpie mix.
She keeps her on a tight leash.
That's my way of protecting her.
Protecting the dog she considers family.
She'll sniff it out.
While avoiding a fine from the city.
Good girl.
Lafayette police announced on Facebook today they're increasing patrols in neighborhoods, open spaces, and trails. And they tell us there will be zero tolerance for owners not using their pets' leashes in public. Everyone caught will be cited.
And they're independent thinkers, and we need to have them under control at all times.
My dogs are good.
While Lucy Springett agrees with the law and the reasons behind it,
goodness gracious, hi.
She feels a police crackdown with zero tolerance is a little much.
But the owners, we're all usually pretty on top of it with our dogs. I know my dog is well behaved, meanwhile they're off running across the street or something.
And the first thing out of the owner's mouth is, oh, it's okay, she's friendly.
But having a well-behaved dog isn't a good enough reason for Eric Brown to go without a leash.
And it's frustrating when there are off-leash dogs who the owner thinks it's okay to approach anybody because their dog is friendly.
Because there have been issues, and people don't always know how to control their animal.
Gypsy says if trouble does happen while a dog is off their leash, all the blame lies with the owner.
It's not the dog's fault, it's the human's fault. Always. They should know better.
If you're caught breaking the leash law, it'll cost you about $150 the first time.
A second offense is double that amount, and if you violate the city's law a third time, you'll be required to appear in court. We have links to other leash laws around the state, including right here in Denver at 9news.com. Kyle?
I should send the humans to a training course. Maybe that would help too if you get that third time. All right, Jordan, thank you.